All right, everybody, welcome to Ravens Hockey Live. We had a beautiful intro queued up for you. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't seem to want to work for us right now. But you know what? We'll just go on the air right now. Eric Balnar here, joined as always by Jeff Krever and Mitch Goldenberg.
Soon to be Mitch Goldenberg. I'm good. Crazy morning out there. It's freezing.
Yeah, it is definitely a cold one.
But again, good weather for hockey, and well, let's get into our games. We got a lot to talk about here. That was really a special weekend, and we've got an even better one coming up, right, Eric?
Oh yeah, we got a great one coming up. Jeff, the Carleton Ravens on the weekend, they were up against Ottawa U. A big one, a big victory for them, 8-0, the final score in that one. Jeff, you want to take us through what happened and what was so good about that game?
Yeah, it really. Well, are you going to get the game summary going up there?
I'm going to try to get it. We're having a bit of technical difficulties over here right now. We're going to get the game summaries in a second. Maybe we can even re-cue the show. But Jeff, just tell me a couple things that you saw so far.
Yeah, okay. Well, it was really something because both of these teams, Ottawa U and Carleton, had a very long time off. As you know, because of the Christmas break. The last time they played was quite a few weeks previous to that. Each team had exhibition games, but really, it's as Marty even said in his interviews, that's not the same as regular season play. So, you know, coming into that, it was fired up because this was the first Carleton home game against Ottawa U. Carleton was 2 points ahead in the standing, so you know there were big 2 points up for grabs, and you could tell that the two teams were fired up. Especially Carleton, though, and as Eric pointed out in his interview with Jordan Deagle after the game, which we will show you soon. The fans were just unbelievable. It was packed, and I don't know if it was a sellout. We don't have the numbers, but it was packed. The bleachers at the front were full. People were standing. They were sitting on the bleachers at the back and standing. We were at the bottom where the benches were and standing behind David Leger at the Ottawa U bench. It was just deafening. The red zone was out in full force, and they were blowing their horns, and they'd have a timeout, and you couldn't believe the noise. So that just should set the scene coming into the game, what happened. And then the puck dropped, and everything it all broke loose.
All right, think of that as a little bit of a teaser. We've got we seem to have our equipment back up working here at CKCU. We had a little bit of technical difficulty. We're just going to press the reset button here on the show. So...
I actually think they're the dominant team in the league, and I actually think they've got the hands-on favorite to come out of this division.
Oh, it was unreal. Like, I know most of us come from playing in the OHL and WHL, and we're kind of used to that. So when we see it here at Carleton, I mean, it fires the boys up. You have no idea. Like, we were in the dressing room, and we were so excited to get out there and play. And every time we scored, you know, the barn was just so loud, and it was great. I mean, it was like we had the extra player out there, and I'm hoping it'll continue on the second half of the season, because when you do get these fans out here, it's a great place to play.
And that was Ottawa U head coach Dave Leger saying the Ravens men's team is the team to beat in the OUA East, followed by Ravens men's player Jordan Deagle talking about how the sold-out crowd at the Ice House on Friday night pumped up the team. Good morning, hockey fans, and welcome to Ravens Hockey Live. I'm Mitch Goldenberg, joined as always with Eric Balnar and Jeff Krever. We have a jam-packed show for you guys today, so we're going to get right into it. It was a busy weekend, and we're going to go into the game summaries. Eric has the men's report, followed by Mitch with the women's report.
To kick off the new year, the Carleton Ravens found themselves in what appeared to be a tough hockey game against the Ottawa GGs. The GGs entered the game just trailing the Ravens by 2 points and looked to tie them in the standings with a win in front of a sold-out Ice House. But things didn't start off too well for the GGs. Matt Hyde tipped in his first goal as a Raven just minutes into the game, and the Ravens found themselves up 1-0. Brad Albert capitalized by powering to the net on a power play just minutes after that, and the Ravens found themselves up 2-0. But the Ottawa GGs have great firepower with two superstars, Luke Blaine and Kyle Ireland, and found themselves on a power play just over halfway through the first to try to get themselves in the game. But
Eagle will start up the other way. Eagle, shifted by Crandall. Eagle, breakaway. Score! Jordan Eagle shorthanded. 3-0 Carlton.
thanks to SSN Sports for the call, the Ravens would not look back after that, going on to score 3 more shorthanded goals. That's 4 on the night. Yes, 4 shorthanded goals. And the Ravens win 8-0 in front of a sold-out Icehouse. Up next for the Ravens is 6 tough games, including 3 on the road against Quebec opponents. Jordan Deagle says these games are going to be tough, but it's not going to faze the Carleton squad.
It's physical play. That's what you need to do to beat those teams, because they tend to shy away from it a little bit. So if we can play our game, we're a big team, and we can lay the body on them, then they tend to disappear a little bit. And when they do that, then they're nothing special, and we can take it to them.
Ravens netminder Matthew Dopehood made 18 saves for his second consecutive shutout, and the Ravens will look to continue to ride that momentum into Quebec. For Ravens Hockey Live, reporting on an 8-0 Ravens victory, I'm Eric Balnar.
On Saturday afternoon, the University of Ottawa GG's women's hockey team had a chance to avenge the big loss by the men's team to Carleton the night before. And what a chance they had. They were playing the Carleton Ravens women's team, who had struggled as of lately, losing 7 straight games heading into the break. But it was a tight game through and through, and both teams had their chances. I take you to the third period. The score tied 3-0 with 9 minutes to go, and Carleton on the power play, and then this.
Bergeron, Skinner at the top. Skinner, wrist shot. Off the post and in! And it's a 5-on-3 power play goal!
Erica Skinner with the go-ahead goal, and then interim captain Kristen Marson with her second of the game on the power play, sealed it a couple minutes later. Here's what head coach Shelley Coolidge had to say after the big win.
Yeah, real great feeling. I said our girls worked so hard in the first half, and we, I found ways to lose games like this that were so close. And I said this one here, I said we took advantage of power play situations. We stayed disciplined, and were able to execute in our power play. So I was really happy with how we competed.
And Carleton moves ahead of Ottawa U and into the final playoff spot in the QSSF. But that's not all. The Ravens were back at it on Sunday in Montreal against the UDEM Carabines, and they took a 3-1 lead into the third period. However, the Carabines star forward Kim Deschen scored 2 goals in the third period, completing the hat trick, and the Carabines took this one 4-3. A heartbreaker for sure, but the Ravens did get back into the win column this weekend against Ottawa U, and they play the Concordia Stingers next weekend. I'm Mitch Goldenberg reporting for Ravens Hockey Live.
Yeah, and a couple of big games coming into the weekend for the women against Ottawa U, their rivals, of course, and getting their third crack at them. And then the next game against UDEM, and a team that they've struggled with throughout most of the season. Guys, your comments on that?
Well, I actually think the UDEM game was probably more impressive than the game against Ottawa U. I mean, Ottawa U, the only reason why I think the women won, the women played a great game. They played their best game in a while. But Ottawa U handed it to them on a silver platter. They just seemed to be parading to the penalty box. They took 13 minor penalties in that game for a total of 26 minutes. And Ottawa U's just they were a little better than Carleton in the standings, now worse than Carleton. So I think the more impressive performance was to be leading the Carabines, the University of Montreal Carabines, who beat the Ravens a couple times earlier in the year, to take a 3-1 lead into the third period, and didn't go their way in the third period, but maybe next time,
Yeah, and you know what? Perfectly said right there. A lot of penalty trouble Ottawa U got into, but you know what? It was a similar story the next day in Montreal. UDEM took nine penalties as well, and Carleton had a 3-1 lead in this one, and they took it into the second period, and within seconds into the final period, Carleton on the power play, Kim Deschen comes in, makes it a 3-2 game with a short-handed goal. So you really see how close these games are. And, Shelley talked about that. We had a great clip from from the coach in that game review there, saying how many close games that they have been in. They've been in a few close ones with UDEM, University of Montreal this year. They took McGill all the way to the final second there. That's an undefeated hockey team, so they played a lot of close hockey games, and they just seem to be falling on the wrong side. It was nice to see them get in the victory column and jump ahead of U Ottawa, but you know what? It was, again, they got handed a lot of opportunities on the power play, and I think they'll be happy that they got 5 power play goals on the weekend, but you know what? I think they're going to be looking for more when they get more opportunities like that.
Yeah, and Eric, I think that they'll be somewhat satisfied with a 1-1 split on the weekend. I think that you said it, another close game, and these women have had a lot of close games all year, a lot of heartbreak. But that'll happen when you have a team with a lot of new players and a lot of fresh faces, so hopefully they can take it as a learning experience moving forward.